This is Empty the Bench with Tom Albano.
Going on any sort of website where somebody can promote that John F. Kennedy and John F. Kennedy Jr. are going to resurrect on the grassy knoll near which John F. Kennedy was assassinated is not research.
Nick Morgeson.
The NFL might have some alleged killers, drunken drivers, abuse, guns. Roger Goodell's just going to sit in his corner, eating his bonbons, sucking on his thumb, and just handing out 2 game checks.
And Nick Federa.
Help! Stop it! Please make him stop!
Empty the Bench starts now.
I am somebody who's a critical thinker. You guys know me. I march to the beat of my own drum.
Too bad it's a dance tune that nobody wants to dance to.
Well, there's no logical thinking in this show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Empty the Bench, episode 111. That's Nick Federa. I'm Nick Morgeson. And yes.
So we're down to a duo this week. So Tom, he went a little crazy after the last episode. And he decided, well, it was really about hearing the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. He just said, you know what? I'm going to go out to the country and just yell at some horses for a minute.
Well, if you think about it, we do march to the beat of our own drummer at times.
Yeah, that is a good point.
By the way, make sure to follow the show. It's across the bottom. Follow Empty the Bench on our YouTube channel and also Empty the Bench Podcast Network. Follow Nick at Nick Writes Words. Follow myself at N Morgeson Radio. And make sure to hit the like and subscribe button as well. So before we get into this, yes, it's 9 o'clock Eastern time and it's not 3 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, we kind of get that. And let's just say it's been a day.
It's been a day. Schedules permitting. It's just, but one of the things that is a little bit of a silver lining, if you could call it that, is because we get a chance to talk about more craziness that just dropped in front of our desk.
Okay, so what Nick is referring to is this news that just dropped right before the show. Per Tom Pelissero, Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger going on reserve COVID-19 list and out Sunday against the Lions.
Now, in this case, context is necessary. Now, it does not say that Ben Roethlisberger has tested positive. So
right.
They don't make a distinction as to whether he is positive with COVID or he was exposed to somebody who is.
I mean, we just came off a Karen Rodgers situation, and yes, I have to coin that to Tom, who came up with that phrase.
that actually was circulating on Twitter for a while after before that, but still.
I mean, holy shnikes is the nicest word I could say about this.
Well, you know what? Since we spent the last week talking about hearing another medical lecture from Dr. Aaron Rodgers, it's only a matter of time before we hear another lecture from Professor Ben Roethlisberger at the Institute of Horseshit Virology.
I mean, what's next? Is he going to be the next person that ends up on the Pat McAfee show doing a 50-minute TED Talk?
Oh, and it's going to be longer and dumber than you think if he does do that. And you know what? Again, I reserve the right to be wrong. He could be it could just be a matter of contact tracing. It's a very important thing, contact tracing. However, recent experience with quarterbacks and mask mandates and vaccine mandates have demonstrated that quarterbacks are not exactly the brightest bulbs in the box, if you do catch my drift here. Do you catch my drift?
I do catch your drift, yes. And the NFL, and you know what? I'm just going to get it out of the way now.
Roger Goodell's probably just sitting in a bubble bath right now and just going, Jesus Christ, just sitting in a bath, just working on a mental health line.
Well, we'll get to a bunch of other issues going on with the NFL in a second, but have we not learned from the Karen Rodgers situation that going to a Halloween party and saying you're immunized when you're not even close to being vaccinated. Did we not learn from that?
And we didn't even get a chance to say how Aaron Rodgers walked back what he said later in the week after the initial.
Well, hold on. We're going to get to that. So don't worry, we're going to get to that. But
we're going to get to that. But again, seeing what happened in the aftermath of that, you would think that a lot of NFL quarterbacks would learn to, in plain English, shut the fuck up.
I mean, yeah, and who knows? The way the NFL is right now, and I just told Nick before we came on here, the NBA is recommending, which you all know that's a load of horse shit, because what does recommend to an athlete? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Recommend basically says, hey, if you want to help do your part.
Recommending to a 5-year-old that they clean their room in one ear, out the other.
No, actually, it's like telling that 5-year-old, we recommend you eat your vegetables.
Yes, and they're going to go, of course, mate, I will eat my greenery. I will eat my greenery with a smile upon my face. No, you know what they're going to do? Cry, throw a tantrum, and demand ice cream.
Well, that reminds me of the Kraft commercial. I don't know if you see it on TV where the mother rips the bag. Well, you have to eat your vegetables. Well, fine. We'll just sleep here then. And they open the bag of Kraft Singles cheese and put it all over the vegetables. That's what this is right now.
So what? You cover the COVID vaccine in pixie sugar dust?
Basically, yeah.
You know what? If it would work, they would do it.
The problem is when your head pixie is making $64 million a year as the commissioner of the sport, it's hard to take him seriously when he doesn't do anything that he's supposed to do.
Especially considering they pretty much let this slide. The Packers did the Steelers would have let this slide if not for Aaron Rodgers pissing in the pool, metaphorically, poisoning the discourse. I know the bar is low for NFL quarterbacks, but all you have to say is, yes, I'm fully vaccinated, not immunized. And you know what? They'll be singing your praises from here to Wednesday.
Well, here's the thing. Let's be careful with that statement because you can't lie about being vaccinated. That's a major...
Well, now you can't.
That's a crime almost, isn't it?
Well, it's a dick thing to do.
Well,
we'll start there.
Wait a minute. What's his name from the NHL with the fake vaccination card?
Yeah, well, that's a violation of the league's policies.
Evander Kane,
which is the NFL's problem. The NHL's problem.
Well, the NHL has its own issues dealing with situations.
But however, Aaron Rodgers has affected how we go about asking quarterbacks and players, really, NFL players, whether they're vaccinated or not.
Wait, did someone say Aaron?
Because you can't just pussyfoot around the question anymore.
Did someone say Aaron Rodgers?
RELAX.
Shut up! You're not a doctor. You're not even a psychologist. You're not even an insurance salesman. You don't tell me how to live.
Well, speaking of insurance, did you see people were like having an angry mob scene on social media to get State Farm to not use him anymore for his commercials?
Because the insurance company loves it when people take unnecessary risk.
Well, actually, they said that they're standing behind him.
Of course, because they love it when people take an unnecessary risk. Yes, I want you to go to that anvil and piano factory. Go ahead. No. You can French kiss that cobra. That's fine.
RELAX.
I mean, you know what? Since we're talking about it, we'll go there. So, Aaron Rodgers walks back his comments, which you started to say. Packers were fined more than 2 game checks, $300,000, and Aaron Rodgers and Alan Lazard were basically fined what's in their wallet every week, $14,650 each.
Which is more than which is less than what he wipes his ass with every day.
I mean, do you really think that Roger Goodell was thinking this in the process of the $14,650 fine?
I mean, it probably killed him to do it because you know how he's very selective with his punishments, especially with his golden boys.
God, this
he
whole
again, he likes to hide behind the specter of the shield, but the shield has holes in it big enough for your quarterbacks and your star players to waltz on through.
I'll give you one more. NFL, no fucks lost.
That's a good one, actually. That's a good one. I'm going to use that.
I mean, because basically Roger Goodell gives no fucks because he thinks he's not losing anything.
Exactly. And you know what it is? It is that, well, first of all, let's what he exactly said. So he went back on Pat McAfee.
His normal spot.
Sitting on the exact same couch, wearing a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker hoodie, and which people were dragging him on Twitter about, which is hilarious.
By the way, we should take a lightsaber to his neck, but that's a whole different situation.
Saying that I didn't. Well, what is healthcare in Star Wars? Floating in a giant bacta tank.
By the way,
open a tauntaun so you can stay warm.
By the way, I just remembered one thing. He actually did lose a relationship with a hospital or a medical company in Wisconsin.
Yes, he did.
So
there's one thing a hospital does not want to be associated with. It's this kind of quackery.
I mean, I get it. They got the team fine, right? $300,000. But you really think $14,650 really matters to these two guys?
No. Which is why I said it's less than what he wipes his ass with every day.
But what I don't get is why are we not making examples of these morons, these athletes, and say, hey, you've decided to fake that you were immunized?
Because the NFL and the Packers, but the Packers, you could say too, love to fence it. They don't want to take one position or the other. If it hurts their bottom line by going after people who are by insulting people who are anti-vax, they can't abide by that because it's money out of their pocket.
Right, but
it's the Republicans buy sneakers too defense.
Oh, the whole Michael Jordan thing. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But
well, first of all, like I said before, he said he went back on Pat McAfee and said, I didn't mean for my comments to be taken that way.
Come on.
I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that is essentially what he meant. And it's like, that is the I'm sorry you got offended of apologies.
That's my response to Aaron Rodgers. If I could punch him in the face 1,000,000 times right now, I would.
Again,
but you know what?
He brought this on himself.
I could go get some of that State Farm insurance while I punch him out.
All you had to do was get vaccinated. All you had to do was get a little needle. That's it.
Reminds me of the lottery commercial with the little guy. All you need is a little bit of luck.
You didn't even have to do that. You could have worn a mask. Well,
let's talk about that for a second. So it came out that he was walking around, going to press conferences, walking around the facilities, not wearing a mask. So that's why he got the puny little fine, because he was basically spreading COVID.
You know what? I think that's kind of losing. But I'm not. I should make clear. I'm not angry that he lied to the journalists. I'm mad that he lied, and he could have spread it to people who were vulnerable.
But wait a minute,
could have been immunocompromised.
You're missing one thing here. The NFL came out and said, "You didn't. We never said you were vaccinated or unvaccinated. We never said anything." Well, they said we knew you were.
They were willing to let that slide. They were willing to let that slide as long as they could get away with it. As long as you didn't get test positive, they would never have been any the wiser.
And Aaron Rodgers and the NFL are like a bunch of 5-year-olds in the recess yard where they're fighting over a toy. Well, why'd you punch him? I didn't punch him. He punched me.
Well, they were doing it.
So, that's basically, he jumped off a cliff. Are you going to follow him also?
Exactly.
It makes no sense. And you know what? Hey, Karen, take your football, leave Green Bay, and we'll never have to hear from you ever again.
I do feel bad for Packers fans, though, because he's not only have you lucked into 2 generational quarterbacks back to back, but to find out that both of them are kind of assholes has got to not feel good. And I'm not being facetious here. I'm not being facetious. Believe me, it sucks when you have to go through that. It sucks.
And the NFL can't catch a break so far over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
it
but
can't.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny when they can't catch a break because you laugh at somebody who slams a door in their face. You laugh at somebody who pies themselves. You laugh at somebody who trips over their own dick intentionally.
RELAX.
Stop telling me to relax.
No, it's Aaron Rodgers, not me.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, what's next? Is Aaron Rodgers going to run for president?
Oh God. Oh God.
Cheese heads for everybody.
So does that mean that Shailene Woodley has to be the director of the director of the Department of Health and Human Services?
That's
crystals, healing crystals for everybody. Oh goodness.
I hate you. Get the out of here.
Actually,
moving on.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move on from the craziness to actually some NFL news. So Odell Beckham Jr. signs with the Los Angeles Rams. And this was a whole story over the last week. Where is he going to sign? The Cleveland Browns are awful. He doesn't get along with Baker Mayfield. His father goes on Instagram and starts practically insulting Baker Mayfield and showing all of the open plays that he could have had. That sounds like sour grapes to me. But
of course, I do appreciate the Diet LeVar Ball kind of the Diet LeVar Ball routine he had going on.
I mean,
because it was kind of LeVar Ball, but with less self-importance.
I mean, the best way, since the LeVar situation was awful, and now we're seeing this with the Beckhams.
Look at all the failure.
It's not necessarily failure because look, the Rams are a good team. Are they good? Are they playoff good enough?
Well, all right. So we need to add another piece of news to this story. So, Nick, do you want to know why Odell Beckham Jr. signed with the Rams?
Yes, I do.
So Robert Woods, who's one of their top guys behind Cooper Kupp, now they had a plethora of great wide receiving talent on that team. Well, Robert Woods tore his ACL.
That'll do it to you.
Now, I don't know what took so long for that news to come out. Now, I think the Rams was a great fit for Odell anyway, because that means there'll be less double coverage on him when he's playing. But I didn't expect it to be an injury replacement.
But it's a good signing nonetheless.
Right. And I was so hoping to start that rumor of him back in a Giants uniform.
I know there were a couple people there were a couple people on Twitter running with that, but you know what? We're our respective teams are stuck in the doldrums of suck. So I mean, we don't get happiness down here.
Well, did you see though, like, I don't know how to describe it. There was another great move also, or a great move or awkward move, whatever you want to call it. Did you see also that Cam Newton re-signed with the Panthers?
Yes, he did.
And there's an incentive on the contract for $1 million if he's a Super Bowl MVP. And I said, wait a minute, what? Huh? The Panthers are not going anywhere.
All you have to do is win the next 17 games and you'll be fine.
I mean, you went from Sam Darnold to Cam Newton.
I mean, considering how hot Sam Darnold was when he started this year, much to your chagrin. See, you still can't get through that without grimacing in pain.
What the
I can't. Well, he's on IR now, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But he'll miss the next 3 games. But to put a bow on the Odell Beckham move, I actually think it's a good fit. I really do think
it's a good fit. No, it is a good fit.
Now
it is because it gives them a deep threat, and Odell Beckham can still play. You may not have realized it because whatever the hell it was that was going on between him and Baker in Cleveland, I mean, Stafford's a good quarterback. He's having a great season.
He's also a
So
throwing
he'll
quarterback.
get the ball.
He's also a throwing quarterback, unlike when he was with Daniel Jones in New York, who didn't really throw the ball that much.
Or Eli, who couldn't move for shit. Well, then again, he was never upright long enough for that to happen. Thank you, offensive line.
Well, him and his cement feet. But with Baker, first of all, Baker's is playing with a torn labrum, so he's not really throwing the football to the best accuracy of his ability.
So
but
it'll help them. It'll help them a great deal, I think.
He's going from a guy that was struggling to throw the football to a guy that airs out the football in Matt Stafford.
All he had to do was get out of Detroit. Who would have thought?
So, well, he was doing that anyway. He was having 35
doing
to
that
40.
anyway, but nobody noticed because the Lions were always so bad.
I think it's a good move. Do I think it's going to catapult them into the Super Bowl? No.
No, like I said before, no.
I mean, but Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't sound so bad when you look at it.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
But the rest of the team needs to come through at this point.
Yeah, that'll do it to you.
All right. So, speaking of weird and even more horrible situations in the NFL, Jon Gruden. So, this story comes out yesterday, and Jon Gruden sues the NFL and Roger Goodell over resignation. Now, Nick, can you read that last line for me?
Soviet-style character assassination. So, not to be a stickler about anything, but I don't know if the Soviets actually engaged in character assassination. They engaged in assassination. So I don't know what the fuck he thinks he's talking about.
I don't know how to explain this one, actually. I have the story up in front of me because I think we need to go through it. But Soviet-style character assassination? Like, that's what we're doing here?
Let's break this down, what it actually says.
Oh.
So he thinks he filed the lawsuit 2 days ago in Henderson County, Nevada, alleging that during the email, fracas or fracas?
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Fracas, I think. While all that shit was happening, which we covered already. We covered it about
big time.
A month ago.
Go back a month ago and watch our episode. We covered it big time.
Yeah, we did. And he's saying that those racist emails, which were definitely written by him, he's not disputing that fact. He's saying that why is it that the 650,000 emails that were leaked, how come only mine were leaked to the New York Times and the Washington Post?
But isn't that...
And he's alleging that Roger Goodell and the league proper have it in for him. They did it on purpose to get him fired. Or to force him to resign, to be more accurate.
Really? I mean...
Now, I said in my minute that I thought he was half right. Now, let me explain that a little bit more, because I didn't really have time to do that, because I was kind of running under, it took a lot of time to get that out because it's a lot.
It was good, though.
But he's half right in not that, because I don't think that they had it out for for Jon Gruden specifically. If it had happened to somebody like Robert Kraft and nobody else, or to the Maras or nobody else, or to who else am I? Jerry. Then you could say, yeah, maybe because they are major market teams. They have a lot of influence, especially in the weird inbred social circle of owners that we have in the league. But it is a little weird, and this is where he's right, that only his emails got leaked, because
that's true. It's totally true.
He's the only one engaging in this kind of behavior. You're fucking dreaming.
Well, what about the Washington football team? The Washington football team is at fault for some of this bullshit that went on.
Believe me, everything that they've been investigated from A to Z, soup to nuts, first to last.
Where's those emails?
Terrible shit that they're accused of doing.
But wait a minute, where are those emails? Now, first of all, I want to go back to one thing before we go further, which he's alleging those private emails that actually were sent out. Let's call a spade a spade. The NFL leaked to the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. Now, let me
Somebody leaked it.
No. Stop.
So you think he's 100% right?
I think that
they had it out for him and did it on purpose.
No, first of all, what I think he did, what Jon Gruden did, is wrong. First of all, in every way, shape, or form.
That's not in dispute. I'm not disputing what he did wasn't wrong. It was absolutely horrible, abhorrent behavior.
Of course,
and you don't want to see that, no matter who the goddamn coach is.
Right.
However, you think, and I'm asking, do you think that he's 100% right that they leaked it on purpose to get back at him?
I think it's possible. Is what I think. I think
That's what you think.
Yeah, I think it. I didn't say it was 100% what I think it is. I said I think it's possible. That think about it. The New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. That was strategically planned. Come on.
Whoever did it strategically. There is strategy involved in this, but and
wait, and don't put it past Roger Goodell to do something sleazy.
I don't put it past Roger Goodell, but you know what? The target. The fact that it would be him specifically, that there had to have been something else going, because it couldn't have been because of his really Jon Gruden. I mean, the man's respected, but not for what he did with the Raiders. He signed a Mickey Mouse contract.
I agree with you. Yeah. No, I agree.
This version of Jon Gruden, I could say, back in maybe 2001, 2002, 2003
with the Bucs.
The Bucs version of Jon Gruden.
Well,
that Jon Gruden I could see. This one, no.
Well, according to Keyshawn Johnson, apparently he had a sleazy pass with the Bucs as well. But
this wasn't done then. It's done now. But
I'm just pointing out that he must have had a sleazy pass going all the way back. But think about it. The NFL has released stories to the Wall Street Journal before. This is not a first time.
No,
New York Times as well.
I'm not arguing that it was leaked. I'm just disputing about who leaked it and why.
Well, here's what I think he means when he said he's suing Goodell and the NFL. He's covering his bases, first of all. And two, who has to approve the stories going out to those places?
Well, their editors.
You're missing the point. Who approves everything that goes on in the NFL offices?
The commissioner.
So technically, he is responsible in some way, shape, or form.
Are you saying that this would not have happened without Roger Goodell's say so?
Of course, absolutely. Everything that's done in that NFL office, from whether it's a fine to a domestic violence situation to, to how any situation is handled, it has to go through Roger Goodell. Think about it. Why do you think we get so mad at Rob Manfred for everything that goes on in Major League Baseball? It's Rob Manfred's call.
Because the buck stops with him.
And same thing with Adam Silver. When the China situation happened, who do you think was thrown in the fire? Adam Silver. Same thing with the NHL.
No. It's a good point. It's a good point. It's just, again, I have a hard time. Maybe it's my own biases. Maybe it's the fact that I just don't see Jon Gruden as an existential threat to the league as is currently constituted.
That's stupid.
Maybe because I think that, I'm not having a hard time buying this.
Again, let me clarify this again. He's a moron in every way, shape, or form, and he deserves to be gone from the league.
That's not in dispute.
But I do think the NFL sometimes has an axe to grind, if you know what I mean.
Yes, they've proven time and time again that they can be vindictive little motherfuckers when they want to be. Hi, Colin Kaepernick.
Hi.
Why don't you still have a job, Colin Kaepernick? What did you do to? I don't know why you pissed him off so much. Well,
actually,
I know why, but
in technicality, the reason he doesn't have a job anymore is because he had a settlement with the NFL. That's part of it.
But you can't look at his case and tell me that they're not vindictive.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, they tried to keep him away. Actually,
exactly.
It's not that they tried. It's not that they tried. They did keep him away. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't want to talk about this whole story because then you're going to get into a whole race conversation, which you don't want to have. But they purposely tried to change the location of the workout. That was the NFL.
Exactly. But see, you're making me change my mind. And I don't want to do that.
Hey, that means I'm doing a good job with my explanation, at least. But long story short, and let's continue to go through this story because there's a lot more here. So Gruden is seeking damages on seven different claims, as well as punitive damages and lawyer fees. So he's going for the guzzler here.
He is. I don't think he's going to get that because he has to prove wrongful termination.
By the way, this complaint, 21 pages. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah, that is a lot. Especially considering legal pages or complaint pages are what? Not more than 5?
Right, usually. I mean, what you were starting to say before, the 21-page complaint obtained, and this is in a Fox News story, the NFL and Goodell are alleged to have, quote, sought to destroy the career and reputation of Gruden through a malicious and orchestrated campaign. Now, let's be very truthful about this, what this means.
You can't destroy my reputation. Only I can destroy my reputation.
Well, right, but
I was doing a very fine job of that, coaching the Raiders. Thank you very much.
Right, but a malicious and orchestrated campaign, those are very specific words, right?
And it's going to be a bitch to have to prove it in court.
It says
he may know it, but it's a matter of whether you can prove it in a court of law. Whether there is some physical piece of evidence pointing you towards that outcome.
And you know what? Like they're trying to, and like we were starting to say, they're comparing this to the Raiders situation where owner Daniel Snyder got a $10 million fine for his little bikini clad in the Bahamas. But
oh yeah,
now people are forgetting that Jon Gruden's brother works for the Redskins. Oh God, not Redskins. Oh God.
They were the Redskins when he worked there, so technically you're right.
Damn it! Where's the swear jar? I should put.
No. It's okay. No, technically you're right.
Let's try that again. Washington football team. Let's try that again.
Good.
But so yes, he works for the Washington football team. Irony? I think not. I mean, he's seeking maximum damages.
I don't know if he's going to get it, but he'll get something.
I mean,
he'll get something.
Let's be clear. Vegas is a very interesting state when it comes to the law.
Well, you've been there. I haven't. So
no, but you just know from cases, big cases and stuff. Why do you think people file cases there a lot? It's like Texas. Why do you think people file lawsuits in Texas?
That's a good point.
Because Texas is like the state of crazy.
Yes.
Including abortion laws. But we're not here to talk politics.
Yeah, we're not here to But still, to put a bow on this, he's not going to get that. Although he'll get something.
I think the NFL is stupid. I think Jon Gruden is stupid, and I think the court of public opinion can be stupid at times. Because, like you said, you're going to get people who think he was canceled, and then you're going to get people who say, "Good riddance. We're never going to see you again."
Yes, the court of public opinion is not what they're going for. It's the court of law that they're going to.
I mean, now the NFL has now been called into the House Oversight Committee over this story. What does that tell you?
Him testifying before Congress is something I'd like to see.
Yeah, man. Spider two-eyed banana.
They discriminated against me, man. They discriminated against me. I don't know why.
I don't know
why. They got it out for old Jon Gruden.
Why were my emails the only one released, man?
You really think that heavy? Woody Johnson boils chickens alive.
Oh God! But
and I'm the monster here.
Well, all right. Speaking of boiling,
Jerry Jones eats babies.
Oh Jesus! Well, we can say Robert Kraft goes to massage parlors. Take your choice. I mean,
going with the meat theme.
Oh God! But
moving on.
But speaking of boiling chickens, the Robert Sarver story has really burned like the passion of 1,000 suns.
See, this thing has started to become a lot more complicated than it was when we originally thought, because it seemed fairly cut and dry when the story broke. However, it's not that.
It's a lot more complicated than that, actually. And now Penny Sarver, the wife of Suns owner Robert Sarver kind of used some intimidation tactics.
So are we talking like drill sergeant intimidation, or are we talking like Amy Klobuchar kind of intimidation? Or
that's an interesting way of putting it.
So again, so you had said before in pre-show meetings that it was intimidating text that was sent.
Yeah, basically, and I'm trying to see if I can find the story if it hasn't disappeared yet. Because ESPN, believe it or not, ESPN actually did a decent job on this story, even though the Suns have come out and said, well, rah, we dispute the ESPN journalism story.
And when they do that, then you know you struck a nerve.
Oh, I found it. Okay. So Penny Sarver, wife of Robert Sarver, sent messages to 3 former Phoenix Suns employees. So I had a chance to explore this in the ETB Minute a couple days ago. And now the NBA has launched an investigation into Sarver and the Suns. And the story is based on interviews with, wait for it, 70 current and former employees.
So when 70 people say you did something, you probably did something.
I got really angry when I saw this because this, like, the NBA. I've said this many times so far. The season has just like literally started, and I want to go like bang my head against a wall. And so here's what the text messages said. You ready?
Ready.
Excuse me. Over the weekend, I decided on my own to reach out to a few people. Oh, wait. Is that the investigation or what? Oh, this is her confirming. Okay. Over the weekend, I decided on my own to reach out to a few people to try to get the record straight and to share how disappointed and hurt I am by the lies that are circulating about my husband and the Suns organization. Penny Sarver said, I shared the betrayal that I felt and I touched on some of the pain that we're going through as a family. Now, last time I checked, you really think former employees want to know the emotional saga you're going through as an organization?
No, I don't. Oh, God.
All right, so here are the text messages. Now, she was being questioned for intimidation tactics, and she, quote number 1 says, any suggestion that I tried to intimidate anyone is as silly as it's wrong and outrageous. Now, when you have to come out and defend yourself in such a way, that doesn't make you look good. Right?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't make you look good.
So here we go. ESPN has reviewed the messages, which the former employees each confirm receiving. Quote, this is Penny Sarver. I know a lot of bridges were burned between you and Robert, and you are very bitter. I want to remind you that real lives are at stake here. Please put your hatred aside and realize the hurt you are causing by spreading lies and fabrications. Is your time in the spotlight that important? If something happens to one of my children, I will hold you and Earl Watson personally responsible. Think about your own child for a second and imagine the tables turned.
Because that sounds to me like a big fat threat.
Yeah, and by the way, just in case people don't know, Earl Watson was the former head coach of the Suns, who was a black head coach. And there was a lot of speculation and reports came out that Robert Sarver was not so
happy with him.
Yeah. And this just gets worse because now Watson is a former Suns head coach who told ESPN that Sarver's language and behavior emboldened a toxic workplace. Now, this story's not going to end. This story's just going to get worse. And
No. This story's not going to end.
And actually, like you said, Nick, here we go. Another quote. I don't know how to interpret it other than as a threat, one former employee said. So you're right on the money on that one. And
how else are you supposed to take that?
Well, let's read another one. A second former employee received a message that said,
I will hold you personally responsible?
That's a threat.
That's some mafia boss stuff.
I mean, what's next? Is someone going to show up at your door with like a bag of money to say, put it under the mattress? I mean, I don't know. So the second employee said, quote, I am so terribly saddened that you would say such untrue things about my husband. Your interpretation of what happened is so far from the truth. You are crushing my family's lives. Thanks for that. So your organization is a pile of shit, but you're taking it out on former employees. Do I have that right?
No, that's not right.
No, I said, do I have that right? That explanation that your organization is a pile of shit, but you're taking it out on former employees.
Yes, you do have that right.
The NBA is a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, where you get misconduct allegations and you don't know how to handle them as an organization. A third employee came out, quote, "You are such a liar." And this is from Penny Sarver to this employee. You're trying to destroy my husband with your lies. You have destroyed my family and children. Wait, what? Why do you keep saying it's destroying your family and children? What about these people?
God.
No, I'm asking you a serious question. Why are you saying you're taking it out on people that don't even work for you anymore?
Again, this is what happens when you work for rich people. They take it out on people who don't deserve it. Again, because the rage has to go somewhere. Of course, it's going to go to people who have less money to you than you. You see them as subhuman anyway.
I mean, I hate to say this, but like you said, also like the
am
NFL.
I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And we talked about it with the NFL owners that they have their own personal fight club, as I like to call it, where they basically do whatever they want and they get away with it. The NBA has it, MLB has it, NHL has it. Any sport that has ownership has it.
But like I keep telling you, if you think that Donald Sterling was the only one, yeah, you were dreaming. He was just the sacrificial lamb.
Wait, make that statement.
Not lamb, because lamb implies innocence. Let's call him the sacrificial goat.
Well, can you make that statement you made about when we first heard about these allegations? You said Donald Sterling is not the what was the statement you made?
He's not the rule, he's the exception.
Well,
but I thought that was the case, but apparently again, if this story ends up going where I think it's going, he may actually end up being the rule and not the exception.
Well, unfortunately, the damage has been done already because you have 70 people, former and current employees, who are calling for Robert.
Saying you're a shitty boss, then you're a shitty boss.
But the problem is, Adam Silver is not going to do anything. He's not going to do anything. He wants the owner's money.
He works for them, essentially, right?
Well, all the commissioners work for the owners in their sports.
Because racism and sexism doesn't necessarily mean a damn thing if you can still put asses in seats. That's what Adam Silver cares about.
And now we're seeing it with the Trailblazers and their GM and all that. We're seeing
because it just goes to prove my point that this was always more widespread than you would think.
I mean, can someone just
FBI, open up!
I mean, can we just open an investigation and get rid of all these people? Like, it's not going to end, is it? But if you wanted to see Nick, and I'm talking to myself in the third person, you want to see Nick get his blood boiled up, let's talk about this story. So, Ben Simmons meets with 76ers recommended mental health physician. Now, there is an update to this story since we put this in, and Nick and I covered it on Beyond the Bench on Friday. So, Ben Simmons thinks that he is basically out to get by the Sixers.
He thinks the Sixers are out to get him.
Yeah, that better way of saying it. Yes. And so he's basically now saying, go away. I don't trust you.
I'll meet with my own shrinks.
Right.
Now, you would think I'd be all fire and brimstone about this situation because I have been in the past. It's almost like I only have that one mode. But still, I think that there's more nuance to the story that is necessary because, again, mental health is something that is woefully undertreated in professional athletes, in the NBA, in the NFL, everywhere.
But
so to say that the 76ers recommended mental health physicians are not good enough, because I think that's what Ben Simmons was implying, I'm inclined to believe it, because it makes sense that they would nickel and dime on in terms of what they could do.
Well,
when you work for the team, isn't there a conflict of interest?
Well, no, every team has their own mental health physicians and psychologists and nutritionists and everything to help their players to succeed in the best way possible. What I would say is I think Ben Simmons needs to man up a little bit. And I said this, and you kind of made a face at me last time when I said it on Beyond the Bench, where he needs to meet them halfway. He has to. He has to meet them halfway.
By doing what?
Because he's using all this as an excuse not to get back on the court.
I think that's part of it. I think that's part of the reason why he wants to leave in the first place. But I don't think you should, not you personally, but generally, I don't think we should trivialize what he may be going through.
But that's the problem. Like, no one is confirming whether he has a mental health illness.
It's not necessarily our business to know that, though.
Yeah, but he's a public figure.
Again, public figure or not, there's whether it's illegal to do so is immaterial. Whether it's whether it's ethical or not is the pertinent question here.
There's one thing I don't agree with what the Sixers have said, actually. And the Sixers have come out officially and said they want to deem him mentally fit in order to force him to play.
Because they want to get him to play.
Now,
they probably think he's being just a big baby and complaining too much.
Now, I thought about what you said over the last week, where you said, like, maybe I need to go back and look at this a little bit more. And I said, okay, maybe I was a little harsh. But at the same time, he's an athlete making $30+ million.
It puts pressure on people, bro. How would you react?
Like I said, I don't agree with the Sixers trying to force him, like deeming him eligible to play. How about just work it out? This is schoolyard bullying all over again. Well, I'm going to tell you what to do, and if you don't do it, I'm going to give you a wedgie in the lunchroom. Like, that's what this is. It's bully and nerd.
So who's the bully and who's the nerd?
I don't know. It's a good question. It switches every other day, it seems like. But Ben Simmons some days is the nerd because he says, I can't do it. I can't play. And then there's other days where he says, hey, Daryl Morey, F you. I don't want nothing to do with you anymore.
Which, it's a spectator sport telling Daryl Morey to go to hell. At this point, half of Philadelphia likes to do it.
But I've said this a million times, and I'm going to say it again, and people are going to get mad at me because sometimes I will agree with the GMs over the players in a lot of instances because the players are a bunch of babies being coddled. Daryl Morey is right in this situation.
I don't think he is. I'm going to agree to disagree because you know what? Mental health is a very prickly issue.
No, I'm not disagreeing on that. I'm saying that Daryl Morey is right that he's not doing what he should be doing to try to get back on the court.
But Daryl Morey is also not handling this the way he should be.
Well, how else do you want him to handle it? He went on and, well, I will say...
You could be a little bit more understanding.
I agree.
You could be a little bit more understanding than insinuating, hey, he's faking it.
Well, the one thing I would say is if Ben Simmons is refusing to meet with you in any way, shape, or form, it looks like he's hiding something.
Again, but we don't know the full story, so it might not be like that.
And I'm saying we don't know,
all we're going on is conjecture and hearsay. He said, she said kind of situation.
Well, and I think for Ben Simmons, he's actually hurting his credibility too by not doing everything in his power to get back.
He doesn't care. It doesn't matter to him as much as getting right in the head does.
What I find kind of ironic is that he actually doesn't seem to care about the money, which I found kind of interesting.
He's got enough.
But $30+ million is a lot of money.
I know.
It's a lot of money. I mean, he's making $360,000 a game. Can you imagine if you made $360,000 a day doing something?
I wouldn't be here, I'll tell you that.
Well, or we would be figuring out how to do this and not working.
we would be moving into a 2,000 square foot studio in a Manhattan high rise somewhere, sipping champagne and wearing diamond encrusted underwear.
And have a golden toilet. Let's not forget that.
It wouldn't even be a communal golden toilet. It'd be 3 golden toilets for the 3 of us. I don't know why I said communal golden toilet.
Oh man,
Nick, save me by changing this. Save me from myself.
Well, let's see. Let's see. Oh, hey Johnny, play me off.
Save me from myself by changing the second, please.
I don't know, but and everyone's gonna get on me because I'm the NBA guy who railed against LeBron James and railed against a bunch of other players.
Yes, you do it quite often.
But I think I'm right a lot of the time.
Yes, you do think you're right a lot of the time.
No,
even when you're very clearly not.
No, I think I know better than a lot of other people do about this stuff.
I know you think you do.
For $30 million, I would say, okay, you have a mental health situation. You need to work with us every day to figure it out. That's money. That's real money. This is real business.
Maybe I'm just a big softie, but I just don't see it like
I'm all for mental health. First of all, you and I probably have dealt with more mental health during the pandemic.
I've gone to psychologists, psychiatrists, and social workers.
I've been
years now.
Since middle school, since elementary school, I've been to psychologists and social workers. So don't tell me I don't know what that is. I've had it since I was a kid. I've had anxiety since I was a kid. I get it. But at the same time, like you said, we don't know. So he could be absolutely faking it or not. All right. Let's move on. It's time to head into the rapid rundown. And this is weird not having Tom to do this, actually. Would you agree?
I don't know which button to press.
No, I know how to do that. But...
No, wait, that's the ejector seat.
Wait, where is it? Oh no! Oh no, where's my ejector seat button? There we go.
You idiot, that's the cuckoo clock button.
All right, let's move on to the rapid rundown. And like I said, this is weird because usually we do a lot of this. So, all right, what's our first game? Our first game for NFL Week 10 is the Buccaneers at the Washington football team. The Buccaneers are favored by 9.5.
See, normally I would say don't take that line, but considering Washington, I'm going to say take that line. Take the money.
Take the money! This one's not even close. I don't even want to hear it. If anyone tries to tell me that they're going to take the Washington to cover, you're crazy. All right. Yep. Game 2. Lions at the Steelers. Now, we talked about this earlier.
This line was created before Dr. Ben Roethlisberger went under COVID protocols, so it may change.
Now, but the Lions are bad, though.
The Lions are bad, though.
Have they won a game yet? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So I'm going to say I'm going
to say Steelers, but not that line.
Well, I'm going to say the line will probably be 4 or 5, maybe, without Ben. So,
but they'll still win. Don't get me wrong.
It doesn't matter. Take the money. I don't care. Whatever the line is, just take the money. It's the Lions. All right. Game 3. Saints at the Titans. Now, obviously, no King Henry for the Titans, out for the rest of the year. And I think no Alvin Kamara either, right?
No Alvin Kamara either. No Jameis Winston either, right?
Yeah, that's right. Trevor Siemian is the starter.
So normally, without Derrick Henry, I would say take the Saints, but Trevor Siemian. What is this? Have we traveled back in time to 2017?
God, this is like I'm having nightmares as a Jet fan when he was in a Jet uniform.
No, I would say no. You have to take the money in that situation.
Even without King Henry, take the money. All right, moving on. Falcons at the Cowboys. Yuck, yuck, Yuck.
The line is probably accurate in these situations. I mean, I can't see the Falcons doing that.
By the way,
Um,
we need to say
go
one
ahead.
thing. The Falcons have actually been playing well lately.
They've been playing well, but are they doing well enough to beat the Cowboys?
I mean, no Calvin Ridley. He's out with mental health, so we don't have that.
Speaking of which,
So, and also Dak has been very questionable, even though he's been playing. I don't know. The Cowboys have been the best overall team, average defense and offense together.
so therefore I would take the money.
Yeah, take the money. All right. An interesting game where the line made no sense to me. The Browns at the Patriots. Patriots are a 1.5 point favorite. This line made no sense.
I would say the line is a little bit too skinny, but I would still take the money.
Yeah, this one is not even a doubt. Take the money. Baker Mayfield is playing with a torn labrum. No more OBJ. Jarvis Landry is back, but he just came off an injury. Take the money. All right, now this is the crap on Nick line. Bills at the Jets. The Bills are a 13.5 point favorite. Go ahead, get it out of the way.
I would take that. I would not take that line. I would not take that line. I'd take probably a 7 or a 10 point line. However, what is the result of all this? I'll tell you what the result is. In fact, I'll spell it out for you. And what does it spell? J-E-S-T. Jest.
God.
I'll take the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, I will say one thing. The Bills have actually not been playing well as of late. They kind of been playing down to their competition a little bit.
Do I have to say it?
No, but
It's the Jets.
the Bills are going to win. The Bills are going to win. It's not going to be by 13.5. They're saying
No. We can definitely agree on that.
they're saying that they're going to win by 2 touchdowns. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So don't take the money, but definitely they're going to win by double digits, I think. All right, another crap line. Jaguars at the Colts. Colts are a 10.5 point favorite.
What crap they've got.
And Trevor Lawrence almost got hurt last week.
Yeah, he did. So, you know what? I'm going to have to take the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, that line's kind of big, but it is the Jaguars. So, you know what? I'm in a good mood. Take the money. All right. Another double-digit line. Panthers at the Cardinals.
Shit with these games.
Now, we talked about this. Cam Newton is now in the quarterback's room. Sam Darnold is on IR. McCaffrey's back, but he's not 100% yet.
So I would still take the Cardinals.
And Kyler Murray, I forgot about this. Kyler Murray is a game-time decision.
I would still, even then, I would still take the Cardinals. But the Panthers do have a chance to take the upset.
I mean, they won without Kyler Murray. And
if he doesn't play.
Who was the other... who's the other guy I'm forgetting that's their star, the wide receiver that didn't play last week? Cardinals. This is bad that we can't remember this, is it?
Oh, God. Why am I forgetting?
Am I really going to have to go look it up? DeAndre Hopkins. Okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Both of them didn't play last week, and they still won. They still won last week, somehow. So you know what? Take the money. All right, moving on to the team where both fathers are fans. Vikings at the Chargers. The Chargers are a 2.5 favorite at home. Where do we go here?
I take the Chargers. Even my dad would take the Chargers. Then again, my dad has zero faith in Kirk Cousins. In fact, I'm quoting him directly when I say they're not going to win shit with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, this goes back to what I said at the beginning of the season. Justin Herbert, top 3 MVP candidate, and I'm standing by that. Yes.
And Kirk Cousins, top candidate for wet paper bag of the year.
And no COVID vaccine.
Yeah, you know what? If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger, we would be talking about Kirk Cousins.
Take the money. All right, where are we going here? Eagles at the Broncos, and the Broncos are a 3-point favorite at home.
So I would probably take the Eagles in this situation because I don't trust the Broncos. I don't trust them at all.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's mile high and things get crazy and kooky in Denver.
Yeah, the Broncos defense is kind of shit.
But I wouldn't say the Eagles are 100% playing well by any means.
They're not either, but it's look, it's a battle of crap against crap. You pick your crap, okay? You pick your flavor of crap.
Yeah, I'm going to go against you on this one and take the money.
Okay, so you're picking lemon flavored crap.
Oh, God. Ugh, God, I'm choking all over that.
What do you want, lemon or peppermint flavored crap?
Ew. Ew. Hey, you know what? Ric Flair would want lemon flavored crap too. All right, let's move on to something that's not crap. Seahawks at the Packers. Now, this game is interesting because Aaron Rodgers is officially back, and Russell Wilson has been cleared to play.
So this just got a lot more interesting. However, I'm going to pick the Seahawks because I think that Dr. Rodgers is definitely... Karen's going to be a little rusty coming out of shotgun.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, even though it's in Lambeau is one of the toughest stadiums to play in.
I mean, when he's not complaining to the waiter about how his soup is a little late. Or the clerk at or the clerk at Marshall's complaining that his hoodie isn't in the correct size.
I was going to say for the soup, is that chunky soup? You know what? I think there's going to be karma against Aaron Rodgers this week for everything he did. And also, he had 1 day to practice. 1 day.
What can you get done in 1 day?
I am going to be appropriate on this one. Anyway, I'm going to take the Seahawks, and I'm actually going to take Upset City here, like you are.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, we're both going to Upset City.
All right. Moving on to Sunday night. Was that Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday night.
Sunday night Chiefs Raiders.
God, talk about crap versus partial crap.
So it's a half turd against a full turd.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know why we're talking about crap this much, but you know what? I've still got to take the Chiefs because I mean the Raiders lost to the Giants.
That's bad.
You know what happens when you lose to the Giants?
Bad things.
You lose your dignity.
By the way, you said we're speaking about crap?
Yes. You turn into crap.
So, the weird thing about this matchup, the Chiefs have not been playing well at all.
No, they haven't. But you know what? You've got yourself a reeling opponent. So kick him in the nuts when he's down.
So who are you taking?
So I'll take the Chiefs.
Oh, so you are taking the favorite on the road.
Yes.
I mean, the Raiders have... I mean, should I say it? What could Brown do for you at this point? Because that's what the Raiders are.
They lost to the Giants.
But wait a minute. So you have the whole situation with Henry Ruggs. That's obviously a zero.
They lost to the Giants. Shall I say it slower, Maestro?
No, I got it. I'm going to take the Chiefs just because the Raiders are a reeling disaster on the train to nowhere. So, yeah. Where's my sound effect? Take the money. All right. Monday Night Football. The Rams at the Niners with Odell Beckham possibly getting in. Not sure if he's going to.
So this game is not crap, but I'm still going to take the Rams.
I mean, if you're not taking the Rams, that would be a disappointment. I mean, yeah. Odell is definitely going to be a welcome addition. I think he's from LA, so I think he's going to be hyped up to play for the Rams. Even though, this is an away game, so they're not even playing in LA. I'm not even paying attention. Anyway, But I still think the Niners. What are the Niners at this point? I don't know. Do you know?
No, they're an enigma.
Who's the quarterback at this point? Trey Lance, Garoppolo.
You know what? This is where Google comes in handy.
Is George Kittle even healthy? I don't know. Who's the starter? I mean,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh God, it is Garoppolo. Ugh. Ugh. That large.
Although
contract.
Shanahan said just yesterday that Trey Lance could be the starter very soon. So take that as you will.
What is this? The Matt Nagy effect going on in San Francisco?
I don't know.
What's the whole Chicago quarterback situation? Hey, Andy Dalton started. No. That reminds me of that Family Guy situation where he's talking about the week. No. I'm like,
no, Kevin Bacon was not in Footloose. You'll lose.
It was such a great line, but yeah, take the money. This is not even a question. All right, last game on the docket. We don't have a line, obviously, because it's Thursday Night Football. This is crap upon crap upon crap.
I'm still going to take the Patriots.
I don't even need to look at a line. Take the money.
Yes, indeed.
Woo! All right. We made it through the episode, even though it...
Thank you for joining us through this crap extravaganza of an episode of Empty the Bench. That's right. It's all crap all the time. We're buried under mountains of crap.
Make sure to hit
like and subscribe so you can see more crap.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, get out of here with that crap. Come on, hit the bell.
Hit the bell, and you know what? Hit the bell, then don't hit the bell, and then hit the bell again. I don't know if that adds up to more than one like, but yeah, just keep hitting the bell.
I don't know math, so it might be.
I'm going to go to Jon Gruden for my math skills.
Uh,
Spider, too wide, banana.
So, for Empty the Bench, I'm Nick Federa. That's Nick Morgeson. And I'm just going to say to you, good night, everybody!
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Hopefully Tom's back. We'll see you next week.